Welcome everyone to this week's Harmonic Current. As always, these teachings are an invitation to become aware of the frequencies of energy and currents moving through our collective consciousness so that we may participate in them consciously rather than unconsciously. This week, we enter Harmonic Current 31, and I've titled this teaching The True Leader. It couldn't be more timely. In tropical astrology, we entered Leo season on July the 23rd, a season associated with courage, creativity, heart-centered expression, and leadership. Leo naturally asks, where are you being called to shine? Where are you being invited to lead? Yet many of you may not feel like roaring lions just yet. You may still feel emotional, reflective, protective, perhaps even uncertain. If you've been following true sidereal astrology, that makes perfect sense. From that perspective, we remain in the deeper waters of Cancer until approximately August the 6th. Rather than seeing these two perspectives as contradictory, I see them as beautifully complementary. Cancer has been preparing the vessel. Leo now asks us to illuminate it. Cancer creates the inner sanctuary, and Leo asks us to carry that light into the world. And Harmonic Current 31 asks perhaps the most important question of all. What makes someone worthy of leading another human being? Because leadership has never been more needed and perhaps never been more misunderstood. Today we live in a world where everyone has a microphone, everyone has an opinion, and everyone claims certainty. Humanity often follows the one who speaks the loudest, the one who appears the most confident, the one who projects certainty. Yet history continually reminds us that confidence and wisdom are not the same thing. Volume is not vision, and charisma is not character, and certainly is not consciousness. The true leader is not necessarily the loudest voice. The true leader is the one who has listened deeply enough to become trustworthy. That is the invitation of Harmonic Current 31. Ching 31 carries us through three frequencies: the shadow of arrogance, the gift of leadership, and the siddhi of humility. At first glance, humility and leadership almost seem like opposites. Our culture often teaches that leaders should dominate, command, convince, and control. But this Ching key reveals something entirely different. One of the deepest forms of arrogance is not boasting, it is believing we already know, believing our perception is complete, believing our perspective is the only perspective. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. Humility is recognizing that truth is always greater than your current understanding of it, and that changes everything. I want to share a story with you from my childhood. I was probably 9 or 10 years old, and I was playing in the front yard of my grandmother's house, and out of the corner of my eye, I noticed some movement. It was about 10 feet away to the left of me, on the side of me, and it was the biggest black snake I had ever seen. And in my area, we had cottonmouths that were poisonous, and they actually would chase you. So immediately, fear overtook me. I ran as fast as I could towards the steps of her house and flung the door open and ran straight into her arms. And she looked at me and asked, "What's wrong?" And completely out of breath, I said, "Get the gun, there's a huge snake out there." And it was chasing me. And we looked out the window together. Just then, we saw the tail of the snake disappear into a large hollow stump in the yard. To my surprise, my grandmother started laughing, and I remember feeling humiliated, confused, not really understanding why she was laughing at my extreme fear. She wrapped her arms around me and she said, "Oh, honey, we don't want to kill that snake. That's my king snake. He eats all the mice and poisonous snakes around here. He wasn't chasing you, he was simply going home." I have never forgotten that moment. Nothing about that snake changed or the experience until I heard the experience of wisdom from my grandmother. Only my perception changed. What I believed was dangerous and a threat was actually protecting my grandmother's property. What I believed was a force of fear and evil, and my enemy was actually a benevolent servant of the land. That day, I learned something I would spend the rest of my life continuing to discover. Fear interprets, and wisdom brings understanding. I think this is where leadership truly begins, not with speaking, but with seeing. Before my grandmother ever influenced me, she understood something I didn't. She didn't shame my fear. She didn't command me. She didn't ridicule me. She simply expanded my perception. That is true influence. She became the leader that I trusted in that moment because she possessed greater wisdom, not greater force. This is the difference between command and leadership. Command demands, and leadership awakens. It creates trust in relationships and leadership. Command tells people what to think. Leadership helps people see more clearly. In the I Ching, Hexagram 31 is called conjoining or influence. Also, it's called uniting in spirit. Its image is lake over mountain. This mountain represents stability, and the lake represents openness and receptivity. Together, they remind us that true influence does not rise from force, it arises from relationship. This hexagram speaks of bringing together what truly belongs together: spirit and personality, heart and voice, leader and servant, wisdom and action. When these come into harmony, creative transformation naturally follows. In human design, gate 31 is called the gate of leading. But here is the beautiful part. It is also known as the reluctant leader. The healthiest expression of this gate doesn't seek leadership for recognition. It is simply an invitation. It is elected. It is entrusted. The voice of this gate says, "I lead," but not because follow me because I know everything. Instead, it says, "I have listened to my people. I understand what is needed. Now I speak on behalf of something greater than myself." That is servant leadership, not leadership over people, leadership for people. The lower expressions of this gate reveals what happens when leadership loses its center. We become scornful. We defer because we feel unworthy. We seek recognition. We desperately need to be heard. Yet the higher expression asks a different question. Have I listened deeply enough to become worthy of being heard? Gate 31 joins with Gate 7 to form the Channel of Facilitation, also known as the Channel of the Alpha. This is not domination, it is stewardship. These individuals understand patterns. They recognize where humanity is heading. They help translate complexity into something people can understand. But here's the key. Without listening, the voice becomes empty. Leadership without service becomes control. Service without leadership becomes self-abandonment. True leadership integrates both. This is why the seasonal timing feels so significant. Cancer has been teaching us how to create a safe inner sanctuary, how to nurture ourselves, how to heal, how to belong. Now, Leo asks, can you radiate what you've cultivated? Can you courageously express what you've embodied? Not for applause, not for importance, but because your light may become someone else's lantern. Gene Key 31 belongs to the ring of no return, together with Gene Key 62. Its physiology is the throat, specifically the thyroid. This ring represents one of humanity's great initiations. There comes a moment in all of our lives when we stop merely repeating what we've been taught. We begin speaking from lived truth, not opinion, not performance, embodied truth. Once that happens, there is no return. Not because you've learned something new, but because you become someone new. The voice becomes an instrument through which spirit can move, and that's why the throat is so sacred. It is not merely where words are formed, it is where consciousness enters the world. Perhaps leadership has never been about having all the answers. Perhaps leadership has always been about becoming humble enough to listen. Listening to spirit, listening to life, listening to your body, listening to the wisdom emerging from the people you've been entrusted to serve. The true leader is not the loudest voice in the room. The true leader is the one whose presence creates clarity, the one who helps others remember what is already true within them, the one who influences without manipulation, who serves without self-abandonment, who leads without needing to dominate. As you move through this harmonic current, I invite you to sit with these questions. Where have I mistaken confidence for wisdom? Where have I mistaken volume for truth? Am I waiting for permission to lead? Or am I being quietly prepared for leadership through service? Where's my life? And where in my life am I still reacting from fear? Like myself as a little girl who believed the king snake was chasing her. And where in life is it inviting you to see a larger perspective or have a larger perception? Because perhaps the greatest leaders are not those who seek followers. Perhaps they are those who have become so deeply aligned with truth that others naturally recognize themselves in their presence. May we become the kind of leaders who are chosen not because we demand to be heard, but because our humility makes us trustworthy enough to carry a voice greater than our own. Thank you for walking this harmonic current with me, and until next time, continue listening deeply, continue leading gently, and continue becoming a sanctuary for your own soul.